From the darkest corners of Tumblr comes a podcast where we take two of your favorite fictional characters, get them together, and we ask, do we ship it? Hey guys, welcome back to Ships in the Night. Ships in the Night. Greg, I'm gonna let you say it.
The #1 fiction comedy podcast ranked in Tanzania. That's right.
Yeah.
We took the coveted Tanzania market, Zach, by storm. We are the kings of Tanzania media.
Thank you to all of our Tanzonians.
I have been saying for at least the past 50 episodes, Zach, every single time I have it documented. Tanzanian listeners are the best listeners. You can go back and listen to the tape. I say it literally all the time.
Well, I'd like to thank all of you out in Tanzania that made this possible.
This isn't a bit, by the way. We have the numbers to back this up.
Yeah, we just found this out. It's really fun. Yes, thank you to all of our listeners, all of our former guests who helped us reach this pinnacle of achievement. But I also want to thank and welcome our guest for today's show. I want to thank so much for joining us, Chandler Garber.
Hello, Tanzania. What's up?
Chandler, thanks so much. We've talked about getting you on here for a while because you and I have just talked about random shipping and nerd stuff so often.
Yes, and I am the local pervert, so it's a good fit.
So let's get started with our first ship. This one was sent in to us a few months ago by Welcome to the Jam on Reddit.
Slaying it, Welcome to the Jam.
This one is Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat and Elsa from Frozen. You know, we got Frozen 2 coming up soon in this winter.
Yeah, and we have a new Mortal Kombat game like every year or so,
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 11 just came out. It's very timely.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
What did you guys think of? Obviously, there's a connection with the ice. What do you think?
I didn't think about that, Zach. Thank you.
Chandler, what were you thinking when you heard Elsa and Sub-Zero?
Honestly, what you kind of just said about how they are both parts of large franchises and keep getting brought back into sequels, what feels like unwillingly to me.
Sub-Zero's like, I've died so many times, just let me go.
I tried to replace myself with a new one, and then you created an entire new continuity to bring me back into this.
That's true. Sub-Zero has gone to very great lengths to, like, finally die, and the people at Midway just will not let him.
So, they're both big in franchises and things,
right.
But is there a connection between these two? I think we have to start at the beginning. How do these two meet? What's the meet cute?
I got a theory on this. So, we looked into Sub-Zero's background a little bit, and he is part of a legendary magical clan. Zach, you know the name. Ice Romancers?
Well, they're...
Frost Romancers?
Sub-Zero is a cryomancer.
Excuse me.
So here's the thing, and I think this might be part of it, is technically Elsa would also be considered a cryomancer, as somebody who can manipulate the magic of ice.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, is that Sub-Zero hears from Raiden, like, there is another, right? Someone who can control the ice. And so Sub-Zero leaves this Mortal Kombat tournament to, like, oh, I gotta go track down someone who is ostensibly the last of their kind, just like me, a cryomancer.
Like, is he recruiting?
I think, yeah. He's like, listen, I'm gonna need some help in this ultimate death tournament that I'm entering into. I have to fight a guy with robot arms. I need as much help as I can possibly get.
I mean, look, in the quest to kill Scorpion, which in the Ships in the Night shared universe, Scorpion is currently running around with the Scorpion King, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson style.
Yeah.
Scorpion's gotten some powerful allies, and Sub-Zero is just like, I have to find more cryomancers to fight the Scourge.
Well, I feel like the main cast of Mortal Kombat is also responsible for finding, like, the DLC members or something. Like, they all have to go find someone for their quota.
Oh my god, that's so good.
I fucking love the idea that Mortal Kombat is a bringer show. It's like an open mic in Burbank where people are like, listen, we're doing this fighting tournament thing. It's really cool, but everybody, you gotta bring at least 2 people. We'll hook them up with drink tickets.
All right. This is the story I want. Absolutely. No question.
Yeah, this is a bad improv show in the netherworld.
So Sub-Zero has to convince Elsa to join him, right? Like it's not just gonna be like, hey, come to this thing. She'll be like, no.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna be like, listen, I'm at this really cool place, and like there are several levels that you can take. Like, just come by for a free workshop on fighting people.
So here's the challenge that I see for Sub-Zero, because Elsa, if we're dealing with her at like the height of her, at like the midpoint of Frozen,
Right.
That's really when she's trying to avoid people. She's afraid. She doesn't want to hurt people. That's why she's hidden herself away. She's dealing with 2 things at once. She's like both reveling in the abilities that she's now like using at their full force, but she also doesn't want to hurt anyone. That's why she's secluded herself, right?
Gonna be a pretty major problem for the Mortal Kombat arena.
I mean, maybe it's specifically the Disney people she doesn't want to hurt. Like, we don't know how she feels about other franchise people. Like, maybe just the Disney characters are too cute and pure, you know? And she'd feel bad about that. But if it's like Mortal Kombat, she has no qualms.
Oh, so she's more okay with hurting the people of, like, because it's a violent universe, she just is like, well, I guess this is how it goes here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Olaf is a dumb snowman with a carrot nose. Like, he's very fragile and everything, so she doesn't want to do that. She, I would imagine, would actually probably get some relief by seeing, like, oh, here's a giant man with 4 arms that, like, I can shoot some ice at and he's gonna brush it off. So, like, it's that thing of, oh, I'm among my own kind here. You're showing me a whole new world.
That's a different,
Oh my God.
wrong franchise.
Well, Aladdin is swooping in over the magic carpet, and then Sub-Zero is just like, pew, pew, and just shoots him down.
I mean, look, Elsa's got a lot of stuff pent up inside of her. She's to find a way to let it go.
Oh my god,
And
that's her death cry. That's the equivalent of like the get over here. She's like, let it go, and then just ice spikes through a guy's chest. I can totally see that.
So Elsa does join in the Mortal Kombat tournament, and that's how this all goes. But this is ships in the night. We're talking about a romance here, guys. We have to know how this relationship would go. Chandler, what do you think? How does this transition from Elsa as a fighter to Elsa and Sub-Zero as a potential couple?
Well, clearly this didn't start out as them looking for romance, but I feel like once they see each other in combat, it's kind of like that thing where people say that they're like sapiosexual, where like people's intelligence turns them on. I feel like their abilities and their intelligence is gonna make each other like get together. Like, oh, what you do with eyes? Like, I'm into that.
I'm a cryosexual. The most confusing Tinder profile of all time.
Oh, I totally see that. So there's a moment when Elsa is driving a block of ice into Raiden's legs and crushing him to death slowly as his body freezes into nothingness. Mm-hmm. And Sub-Zero just is like, oh my god, I've never been more in love in all of my days.
Is that an icicle in your pocket, Sub-Zero, or are you just happy to see me?
It's both. Is it a problem if my penis is an icicle?
No, she's very much into it. I would add on top of that, too, I think that these two complement each other really well. Like, yes, they have the shared interest of doing ice stuff all the time, but Sub-Zero is a fighter, right? He is a fighter through and through and is very, like, cold and analytical. And you have Elsa, who is super in touch with her feelings, like emotional all the way through. And so I think that these two are going to get like a little bit of yin and yang action in there, where it's like, oh, Sub-Zero's thinking, maybe she can teach me how to like unfreeze my heart a little bit. And Elsa is going to be like, maybe he can teach me to crush people's heads. Like, it's a very mutually beneficial thing for them.
Yeah, I feel like at the same time that she's bringing new things to the relationship, she's bringing like her stuff to the game. Like she's gonna start singing. There's gonna be like rap battles, you know. Music is gonna come to Mortal Kombat. Like it's gonna be beautiful.
There becomes like a Guitar Hero or like a whatever the voice equivalent of Guitar Hero is. Sub game within Mortal Kombat. It's a mini game that you unlock.
Oh my god, can you imagine a microphone peripheral for Mortal Kombat in which in order to like properly fatality somebody, you need to absolutely nail the fucking solo from Let It Go. It's like, let it go, and then head explodes, just shoots everywhere.
I totally see this. Oh, the karaoke element of Mortal Kombat.
Yes, the fucking and it's, oh man, not only, this is super high stakes karaoke now too, because not only do you need to like impress your friends, but if you screw up that last like high C, it's all for nothing. The body falls over in that very unsatisfactory sort of like flop on the floor. Oh man, we have not only found love, we've also found the next money-making venture.
Oh man, the idea of a Disney-themed fighting game.
With its own peripheral that you need to buy. Listen, they're going to be at garage sales everywhere in 5 years, but for right now, they're the hot thing.
Oh man, I just see Elsa like walking out, like the opening sequence where she, you know, where every character comes out in Mortal Kombat and does like their line that looks like their threatening line. Mm-hmm. Do you want to kill a snowman?
Ah, yes!
It's easy if you try.
Down, down, up, up, left, be right.
Okay, so this is the relationship is they're fighting together. Maybe there's even like some duo, like they're like tag team combat that they're fighting in. But how does the relationship go over time? Do you think that these two have a long-term thing in them?
Oof, man. I mean, we're taking Elsa down a real dark path if we go this way. I think it really does come down to how comfortable are we as people saying that Elsa is now the ultimate, like, broken character for Mortal Kombat. That she's, like, the developers need to go in and nerf Elsa because she's too powerful.
I have some concerns with their relationship, actually. Like, I'm trying to think of how they would make it work, but, like, the whole point of Frozen is that, like, she don't need no man, you know? So
okay.
it's like, what is he gonna do to change her mind and really make that relationship work, though?
I think that's the thing. I don't think that Elsa is going to find in Sub-Zero what she was really looking for. Because we know, like, based on what her story goes, that like, what she really needs is to reconnect with her family and discover who she is inside. I think that this was just a different path for her to discover who she is. And she gets out all this aggression that she had inside of her. And then she's like, you know what? It's time for me to go be the queen of Arendelle, right? I have to go back. I have to lead my people. She's definitely learned to harness and control her abilities through all of this murder.
Right. And now no one's gonna fuck with Arendelle, she can tell you that much.
Oh, yeah. That's the most dangerous kingdom in the Disney universe.
Yeah. I have to ask the question, does she fight Sub-Zero? At the very end, as she's going away, is it like the ultimate former lovers turned nemesis battle?
I feel like they would fight, but it would be like part of their role play almost. I mean,
this is their big blowout. Like, listen, I'm gonna leave, but we're gonna have one crazy night together.
Yeah, I mean, something to think about is that his name is Sub-Zero, and she's like a very dominant lady. So I feel like this is part of it.
Oh my god.
That's why he's named that, right? That's the only reason.
Oh my god, yeah,
It's been right in front of us this whole time, and we never saw it.
Holy shit. Okay, so she's like, listen, Sub-Zero, I have to go because I'm a strong, independent woman. But before I do, ice handcuff, ice leg cuffs. We're gonna spend some quality time together, me and you.
Elsa just starts pegging Sub-Zero.
Oh, for sure, yeah. She creates the most ornate, elaborate apparatus to cover her crotch area and just go to town on this poor fighter.
Oh my god. Chandler, what have you done? What have you done to the Mortal Kombat universe?
I've made it musical and sexual.
Well, I think so Elsa goes back, makes up with her sister. The day is saved, prevents her sister from marrying that weird, like, creepy dude.
Right.
And Frozen ends as it is, and then we can get on to Frozen 2, where they're gonna, I don't know, it hasn't come out yet, so fight, like, the fall or something. I think that's what those trailers are suggesting.
But every once in a while, Sub-Zero, they're like, wait, where's Sub-Zero? The tournament's about to start. And he is just back at Elsa's castle.
Oh,
like,
you think this is an ongoing thing?
I think that he probably, schedules some time out of his busy tournament schedule.
He schedules a dominatrix session with Elsa.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Oh my god, this is... there's a dungeon in the castle. Oh, God. Well, we have to ask now. It's important that we know how we all feel about this relationship. Elsa and Sub-Zero, do we ship it? Chandler, do you ship it?
I totally do. I don't see it as like a marriage, but I feel like they could have a long-term, like, kinky thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I a million times ship it. Not as like a, one true pairing, whatever, but like the one true sexual pairing. These two are perfect for each other sexually. And they can explore that together. And they can be happy with that and accept that that's what they are to each other and also have their own lives.
Yeah, I don't know that Elsa needs to be in a relationship at all. I think she's perfectly happy just being queen and like running her kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that she can get some regular stuff on the side with Sub-Zero, yeah, I ship it.
Yeah, some sub-strange every now and again.
Oh boy. Well, it's not strange.
Yeah,
they know each other. But either way, we've created a fan fiction. We have shipped Sub-Zero and Elsa. So we're going to chill for a moment.
Oh god.
Take a break, and we'll be right back with our next couple. And we're back with our second ship of the night, which, coincidentally, we didn't mean to do this, but it also came to us from Welcome to the Jam.
I'm pretty sure Welcome to the Jam is based in Tanzania. That is the only explanation.
So many answers.
Yeah.
All right, so this one, another video game ship, because Chandler, I know you like gaming, so we want to do a gaming themed episode.
Yeah, being the local pervert and the gamer kind of like goes together.
To our gamer listeners out there, no comment.
Yeah.
On that opinion.
You know who you are and what you do.
But also, no, we don't kink shame here, so you do you. Mm-hmm. This one is Isabelle from Animal Crossing and Rocket Raccoon of Guardians of the Galaxy. Two short little personified animals. What do you guys think?
Their personalities do seem very different at a glance, but I think this could definitely work if we get down into the details.
That was my reaction right out of the gate. Is Isabelle very helpful, like lives to serve kind of thing, and Rocket Raccoon a little bit more feisty, a little bit more of that bad boy attitude.
Well, you've got an outlaw who travels the galaxy, sometimes helping, but a lot of times robbing people, and a local government administrative assistant.
Yeah.
But that local government administrative assistant also recently entered into one of the biggest battles and violent tournaments in the video game universe. and is one of the most dangerous characters in that tournament.
Unstoppable. Yeah.
So I think I see where these two connect, and it's over violence. Because Isabelle seems helpful, but clearly there's some rage under the surface there. So what do you guys think? We gotta get these two together. What's the meet cute?
I have an idea for this. So I think that Rocket would probably be trying to execute like a heist on the Animal Crossing town, right? And I didn't realize this until very recently, but the reason her name is Isabelle is because her head is literally shaped like the bells in the game, like a bag of money. So she's literally, he probably like sees her, thinks it's a bag of money, and then that's how they meet.
You just blew my mind. I didn't know that.
I love this. Rocket Raccoon, jetpack, like full force, is just going around and scooping up as many bells as he possibly can into a big old sack. Maybe he has Groot, like, reaching out and pulling everything in. And Isabelle, very Belle-like, just gets swept up into that money sack, right? And so it becomes a thing where it's like, Rocket Raccoon's like, all right, we got to get out of here. We're blasting off to the next mission. They go into their spaceship and then open up the bag of loot. Who should pop out? And like, Rocket Raccoon's like, I can't understand a word she's saying. I am Groot.
I disagree. I think Rocket immediately understands everything that she's saying because he's used to dealing with Groot all day.
Yeah, Groot is like, I am Groot. What do you mean you can't understand her, Groot? It's as plain as day. Yeah, that's right. He's a tree, you get it.
I feel like she'd constantly be trying to like shake Groot to get like apples to come out.
Yeah, Rocket Raccoon is like, oh boy, this is Rocket Raccoon finds himself in a predicament when he does this. Yeah, because you have this like super helpful, and immediately she wants to help, right? She's not even concerned that she's been abducted. She's just like, this is a new town. Let's set up a bank.
She just becomes she starts like running the ship.
Yeah.
Not like as captain, because she's just there to help out the player character, captain, which in this case I guess is Rocket. So she's just like organizing all of the inventory on the ship, becomes just like this helpful, like, we're almost out of lug nuts for oh, I'm sorry, it's in space. We're almost out of quantum nuts. Lug nuts.
Yeah. No, that's great. I love the idea that she just goes right to work. Rocket Raccoon doesn't even like have to say anything. And this is all like, granted, of her own free will. This is just, she is in this new environment, is like, thank fucking Christ, I don't have to deal with any more cows or like any more trees or organic life. This is a totally new surrounding, and I'm ready to like plow forward into it.
So you think Isabelle is excited to start to venture out into the greater universe?
Yeah, I think so, because I feel like she has the worst job ever of being like the assistant to the player, right? Basically. And the player often just doesn't show up for months at a time. Time goes by in the game, like, what do you do if you're like the assistant to this person who's never around? The town goes to crap. People like leave all the time, and like that's how it is. And I feel like it'd be actually a lot more reliable with Rocket.
Yeah, he is a man of action. He sets in motion a plan and executes it. So that would be very attractive to her, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so. So,
I have to wonder, though, if her ambitions are going to get the best of her. Because she's like, ooh, well, I'm organizing this spaceship, and I'm going to make it all neat and tidy. Why don't I just organize the universe while I'm at it? Like, let's try to... I think that there's a little bit of political strife over in the Gamma Quadrant over here. Let's just clean that up real fast.
She starts trying to solve the Kree-Skrull War by herself.
She just, like, beams down with a clipboard, like, let's get to work!
That's really funny. So, her ambitions are going forward, but what are these two... Are these two getting together? Are they starting to hook up as they travel? Is Groot starting to feel like a third wheel?
She literally fastens him into a wheel. She bends him so that he can turn as a circular motion. Because she's crafty like that. I can definitely see a situation where Rocket Raccoon is buzzing around and stealing stuff, and then all of a sudden Isabelle beams down, and that's where we get the violence that we were talking about. All of a sudden Isabelle busts out that butterfly net and just captures the most vicious alien known to man.
Oh, so they're like searching for a bounty. There's some guy that's got a big price on his head, and Rocket and Groot trying to capture him, bring him back, like turn him into the Nova Corps or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets past them, gets on the ship, and they're like, oh no, he's gonna get away. But Isabelle just comes out with like a fire hydrant or whatever and smashes him across the face.
Yeah, builds a library around him, thus entombing him so that he cannot get away.
Turns the ship around, flies down, and is like, "Are you guys coming?"
Yeah, exactly.
And then Rocket is just like enthralled by that. That is the sexiest thing he has ever seen.
Yeah, I would even argue, I think that the problem for this might be that Isabelle is kind of out of Rocket's league. She is like the ultimate. She is a fighter. She is capable. She's organized. She's cute as a button, you guys. And I think that maybe Rocket is gonna have to do a little bit of work, a little bit of soul searching if he wants to impress her.
Chandler, what do you think? Do you think these two match up, or is there is the power dynamic totally off?
I think it could work. I don't think she's as overpowered as you think. I think it's really just because you're comparing her to the rest of Animal Crossing, which is a bunch of just useless furries. I was wondering though also, I feel like Tom Nook has to fit into this because he's like, not necessarily a criminal, but he is just taking everybody's money. And I feel like it's going to go both ways, where Rocket Raccoon is going to also help Isabelle with something related to Tom Nook and stopping him from robbing everyone blind, basically.
Tom Nook is basically the Thanos of the Animal Crossing universe. And she finally recruits Rocket. I think maybe that's what it is. After she's been buzzing around the universe with Rocket for so long, she's going to check back in, much like she's going to realize she's become what she's hated most, a player that has left a town abandoned. And now Tom Nook is running wild and stealing all this money. So she goes to Rocket and is like, me, 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 me.
All right, just speak English. We can...
That is English. That is Animal Crossing English for we need to go back to my hometown and just wreck up this Tom fella.
They get back and the town is just in shambles without Isabelle there.
Yeah. Cobwebs everywhere, fields unplowed, terrible.
But do they, like, with Rocket and Groot's help, does Isabelle just like completely right the town and take over? She kicks the player character out. She's like, "You're doing a terrible job. I'm the mayor now."
I think that would probably be like final battle territory because the player's also a character in Smash, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you need like one final Smash battle between the two to see if she would come out on top. But I feel like maybe she could get some extra oomph from Rocket Raccoon. Like he could maybe give her a gun that she just pulls out in the middle of Smash. Everyone's like, whoa.
Rocket comes in as an assist trophy.
Yes.
Just blasts the other opponent away. I see that. And so at that point, Isabelle and Rocket take over the town, right?
Yeah.
And then are these two just like living together forever? Like where they're like based in they're based in Animal Crossing while Rocket like goes off on other adventures?
Yeah.
Can Rocket settle? Here's an important question though. Can Rocket settle down?
I think absolutely. Especially if it's in Animal Crossing where he's surrounded by other humanoid-esque animals that are like walking around doing their thing. His whole thing is that I don't want to be called a raccoon. I'm different. I'm genetically modified and all that. If he is with his own kind in this Animal Crossing universe And Groot has plenty of places to like lay down literal roots and grow. I think that finally Rocket's gonna be like, this is home. I've wandered the galaxy, but now with you, Isabelle, this is home.
Wait. Are all of the animals in Animal Crossing also from the same genetic experiments that created Rocket?
I was going to say this is like a full circle moment for his life. Like he started out on a planet with genetically modified
Rocket
animals.
from Animal Crossing?
Yes. 1,000 times yes. We just discovered the link. Oh boy, baby, we finally did it.
This is where Rocket was created. He was created by Tom Nook as an experiment years ago.
Oh, you know this shit is gonna be in the next Kingdom Hearts game. This is 1000% canon now. Oh shit, we figured it out, guys.
And Rocket comes back with Isabelle, and they take over the town that once created them.
It's so fucking good! Are you kidding me?
Too good. Wasn't the planet like, weren't there like people also on the planet who were like patients or something?
They
on
were,
that animal?
Well, those are the players, right?
That's what I was gonna
those
say,
are the
yeah.
people that are like wandering around fucking up the town, and Rocket Raccoon and Isabelle lead a revolution against these fucking inept and irresponsible players to finally take over Animal Crossing and make it the buzzing metropolis that it was always meant to be.
Oh my god. It's so perfect.
She is Empress Isabelle and Emperor Rocket Raccoon, but like Emperor in title only, because Isabelle has this shit on lockdown. She is the true leader.
She still takes the title of mayor because she believes in tradition, but mayor in this world is like all powerful.
Yeah, exactly. Unlimited terms. She's the dictator of this universe.
Well, I think that's the story.
Yeah.
So the big important question at this point, I feel like I know the answer to this, but Isabelle and Rocket, do we ship it?
Absolutely. I think it's beautiful. I think it's a good way to wrap up his story. It's a real full circle moment. And also, who doesn't like furries? Don't answer that.
Greg?
Yeah, I ship it 1000%. It's great. Listen, they both get what they need out of life. They are literally, oh man, it really is finding the better, like, other half of yourself.
Yeah,
right?
I ship this 1000%, and I am sorry to James Gunn if we spoiled Guardians of the Galaxy 3 with this, but I'm happy with what we've done for Rocket and Isabelle. Mayor Isabelle.
Empress Mayor Isabelle.
Oh boy.
Supreme Leader Mayor Isabelle.
All right. Well, while we go harvest some apples from trees, why don't we take a breather, take a break, and then come back for the Matchmaker segment right after this little word about another podcast that we're a big fan of.
Hi, I'm Tari J. Miller,
And I'm Lex Michael.
and we host a podcast called Missing Out. Lex, what's missing out?
Missing out is I already fucked it up. Take it. Bullshit. Try again. You and I come from different cultural backgrounds, which means we were introduced to different pieces of art and media at different times.
True.
And in talking about this media, we hope to not just explore art, not just explore culture, but also share bits of ourselves, talk a bit about our experiences and why some of this art resonates with us the way it does. It's the retrospective that's introspective.
Where can I find this?
All over the podcast sphere. Check your iTunes, you can check your Stitcher, you can check your Google Play and your Podbean. You can also find the show on Twitter at Missing Outcast. That's MISSINGOUTCAST.
We hope to see you there with our ears.
What?
And we're back. And before we dive into the Matchmaker segment, we want to take a quick moment to thank you guys who have been listening and you've been rating and reviewing. Last week we tried out our new idea that we're going to try to do every now and again, our scripted episodes, or Ships in the Night Theater, as we called it. And you guys had some very nice things to say about the scripted version of our Hermione and Donatello ship, which if you haven't checked it out, it's only about 10 minutes long, but we fully recorded a prose version of the story, and it was a blast.
Yeah.
So thank you to...
I have TD Yanks23 here, who left a review, very kind, said, "That was absolutely brilliant. Please do more in the future." Thank you guys for leaving the kind words and everything. Even if it's not related to Ships in the Night Theater, again, through some crazy algorithm that we will never fully understand, it really does help keep the lights on in this place and helps us do more podcasting stuff. So thank you.
Yeah, and my favorite was hearing from people who did not heed our advice and listened to it on speakerphone or in their car and had other people hear the dirty, dirty things that are in that episode. It is by far the filthiest thing we've done as part of this podcast, and that is saying something.
Yeah, that's saying something very bad about us, I think, as people.
No,
our dark,
it is
dark
good.
souls.
It is good. I
Okay.
just was impressing upon people how dirty that one got.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so Chandler, the doors are open here at the Ships in the Night dating service.
That's me turning around the open sign.
It's very creaky. You should get ready to replace
Yeah,
it.
why is this sign so creaky? Oh, God.
So who have you brought in for us? Because we pride ourselves in being able to find fictional love for anyone. So what single character have you brought us?
Well, let me preface this by saying that recently a game came out that was called like the KFC dating simulator.
That's right.
And you could find love for like random anime versions of the Colonel and stuff, but I thought that we really needed to find a match for my favorite Colonel, Reba.
The Reba McEntire cast version of Colonel Sanders.
Yes, specifically Reba. And I know it's probably easy to ship her with like fast food people, but I'm hoping there's some really creative answers here for me.
Oh no, we try to think outside the bun on these
Oh,
ones.
Jesus, Zach.
I'm sorry. It was right there.
I know.
But that's the thing. We've shipped regular Colonel Sanders with the King before and stuff like that, but we know that's not enough for Reba.
Yeah.
So we've got two answers that I think will be really on point for this most glorious of Colonel Sanderses.
Yeah, and just for people who maybe haven't seen the Reba McEntire Colonel Sanders in a while, it features her doing a song about chicken and about how she is the Colonel and there's nothing weird about that. Always was the Colonel, always will be the Colonel. Here's some barbecue chicken, and this is all very normal. I am the Colonel, and there's nothing weird about this.
It's a great ad.
Yeah.
But so Chandler, I think we've got some options here.
Awesome.
Two options. Greg, do you want to take the lead on this one?
Hell yeah, as always. I am a
Alright.
leader of men. Cue it up.
All right, here we go.
So, Reba as Colonel Sanders, right? There's one thing that they want to impress on their audience is that they are the Colonel as they have always been. And I think that Reba needs someone who understands walking that line, being an entertainer and not wanting to be defined by one's gender. So I think Dustin Hoffman's character in Tootsie is the perfect matchup. You have two entertainers doing a little bit of cross-gender play. I don't know what the right term is. I should have thought about that before I went on this choice. But they are going to be able to communicate with each other and share in that experience of, oh, I am an other in this entertainment world, but I am more than that. I want you to see me as just a really good actor. Oh, what a coincidence, Dustin Hoffman. I want you to see me as a purveyor of chicken.
All right. I see Tootsie. I get where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And but I think I've got somebody even better for Colonel Reba Sanders.
Lay it on me.
I think that idea of somebody who is going undercover in a way, really putting on a persona in order to perform, is really at the heart of what Reba McEntire, Colonel Sanders, is about. And I want to pair them up with Hannah Montana, i.e. Miley Cyrus, because who understands living a double life on stage and off stage more than Hannah Montana. You got two country singers who are going to just live. They're going to walk. They're going to be doing duets on the road, singing about chicken and then singing about their love life together, because Hannah's going to come in with just some crazy love ideas. We know that she's into that country lifestyle. I mean, her father, Billy Ray Cyrus. I mean, come on. And we know that some of that freaky stuff, because where Miley Cyrus goes down the road, we know she's into it. These two are going to be making some freaky, crispy, fried love.
18 for the purposes of the podcast, Hannah Montana. Absolutely.
Hannah Montana's been off the air for years. She's got to be 18 by now.
Yeah, okay. She's, doing her Mortal Kombat tour. I got it. So, I think we would be remiss if we didn't ask you, do you have any questions or concerns about the two choices that we have presented to you?
Yes, I have a question for you, actually. You talked a lot about Dustin Hoffman's character and Reba as individuals, but I would like to hear a little bit more about why they would be good romantically together.
All right, that's a fair point. Do you have any issues with Zach's character, or is he hit the nail on the head
mean,
perfectly?
The awkward age thing was, a little bit questionable, but I think, Miley's, 45 now? So
somewhere Miley's head just exploded in pure rage.
Yeah, but I guess I'd want to know from Zach if you're concerned at all about there being competition between them.
Oh, that's a valid point.
Fair question. All right, so Greg, you've got first rebuttal. Hit us with it.
Much like a delicate combination of herbs and spices, Dustin Hoffman and Reba McEntire are gonna balance each other out perfectly. Listen, what they're gonna do for each other, I think that Dustin Hoffman's character, very strong, very head on, is gonna give Reba the confidence that she needs to get out there and start drawing attention to the fact that she's always been this way. And I think that Reba is gonna give Dustin Hoffman a little bit of a lesson on femininity.
All right, I see it. But here's the thing. So you're worried about competition between these two, but the Colonel understands competition, but the Colonel also understands evolving and growing and learning new ways. I mean, look, the Colonel's trying out plant-based fried chicken right now with Beyond Me. The Colonel's always growing. Miley Cyrus and Hannah Montana constantly experimenting. She's definitely into experimenting. I don't think either of these are going to be jealous because they know that they can reach out to places. They can try new things together. They can make each other grow into new directions.
I will give you that. The Colonel's a goddamn madman. He made bread into chicken. They're gonna be some
KFC double down.
Yeah.
Well, we need to double down on one of these couples. And Chandler, so we've got two options. We have Tootsie and we have Hannah Montana. Who do you want to pair up with Colonel Sanders? Colonel Reba McEntire Sanders.
Well, I'd say you guys both made really good pitches, except Zach's was a lot better.
Listen, I have no qualms. He fucking did it perfectly.
You nailed it. When I realized where you're going with the country singers and the duality, I was excited for it. I was here for it. And I feel like you just didn't quite get there with the romance and the couple aspect. It was more about uplifting each other, but not quite the dirty finger licking goodness that I was hoping.
Listen, Tootsie is dog shit compared to Hannah Montana. I am fully on board. Every now and again I'll get mad when I lose. Holy shit, Hannah Montana. You got it in one, buddy.
All right, well, we've found love for another fictional single. Chandler, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for the coffee, too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's on the day we're recording this, it's National Coffee Day, so get that caffeine going. If people want to keep up with you, find your random witticisms, if they will, online, where can they go?
Oh, Christ. I think my Twitter handle is CL Garber. And that's my only social media, except my Instagram, where I post pictures of my cat puking. That is Spiteful Hate Beast.
Okay, how did you not lead with the cat puking Instagram?
Because it's sad.
I'm there for it. Again, I don't know what that says about me as an individual.
I feel like the cat puke Instagram and the shipping podcast has a surprising crossover.
Oh
in
yeah,
terms of what-
that is a Venn
audience.
diagram of one, good sir. If you're looking to keep up with me on social media, I don't have pictures of cat puking, unfortunately, but you can find me on the tweets at Greg Goodness. You can also find me occasionally performing at the Pack Theater in beautiful, sunny Hollywood, California.
And I'm Zach Wilson. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at @ThatZachWilson. And also be sure to check out my other podcast if you're a big Marvel fan, Marvel Movie News, which is live every Thursday at 1 p.m. on the Popcorn Talk on YouTube and then available wherever you get your podcasts. So until next time, this has been Ships in the Night, casting off.